Megillah, Perek Gimel, Mishnah Dalet, fourth Mishnah in the third chapter of Masechet Megillah. So we're going to talk about Torah reading, because since we're talking about Kriyat Megillah, reading of the Megillah, we'll talk about reading of the Torah. So we know there's something called the Dalet Parshiot. Dalet Parshiot are the four Parshiot, the four additional readings that we read around Purim. So says the Mishnah, Rosh Chodesh Adar shechal liot b'Shabbat. If Rosh Chodesh Adar falls out on Shabbat, Korin beParashat Shkalim. Then on that Rosh Chodesh Adar, you read Parshat Shkalim. Okay, so we know there are four Parshiot. Parshat Shkalim, then Parshat Zachor Tasher Asa Lecha Amalek, Parshat Para, and then Parshat HaChodesh. Those are the four Parshiot. So the first one is Parshat Shkalim. Okay, that people had to bring their Shkalim, because we learned in Masechet Shkalim, they had to bring their Shkalim because in order to give their shekel before Chodesh Nisan. So, but Chaliot betoch Shabbat, if it didn't fall out on Rosh Chodesh, but if Rosh Chodesh fell out during the week, then Makdimin L'She'avar, we move back Parshat Shkalim to the Shabbat before Rosh Chodesh, Umafsikin L'Shabbat Acher, then you take a break. I'll show you an example. Here's Hebrew calendar for the year 2017. Okay, hebcal.com, amazing website. So we see, where's Rosh Chodesh? Rosh Chodesh Adar in 5777 was on a Monday. So therefore, just like the Mishnah said, when Rosh Chodesh falls out on a Monday, we push Parshat Shkalim, Shabbat Shkalim, up before Rosh Chodesh. Okay, and then the next week, Parshat Truma, you'll notice, Mishpatim was here Shkalim. The next week, there was nothing. Okay, and then after that, we say Shabbat Zachor, and the week after that is Parshat Zachor. So let's see it again in our Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Chaliot b'toch Shabbat. If Rosh Chodesh fell out during the week, Makdimin l'She'avar, we move back Parshat Shkalim to the week before, Umafsikin l'Shabbat Acher, and they take a break. And then B'Shniya Zachor. The second week, we read Parshat Zachor. Why do we read Parshat Zachor? Bartenura says, Kadei Shetikarei Parshat Zachor b'Shabbat asmucha lePurim, because we want to read Parshat Zachor on the Shabbat that's adjacent to Purim. L'smoch mechiyat Amalek, the mechiyat Aman, because it says in Parshat Zachor, Timche et Zecher Alamek, Zachor, remember what Amalek did to you. You should blot out Zecher Amalek. So let's look at our calendar, and that's exactly what we did. Parshat Zachor, and it happens to be that Purim was on a Sunday. So therefore, Parshat Zachor was right before Purim. Let's go on. Okay, Bashlishit, Para Aduma. The next week, we're right outside of Purim. The next week, we go into Para Aduma, because people have to get ready for their offering of the Para Aduma, because Korban Pesach is coming. And then, B'Revi'it, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. The fourth week is Parashat HaChodesh, because we want to read right before Nisan. Here we are. 1 second. Why Parashat? He says, why do we want Shlishit Smucha LeRosh Chodesh Nisan? K'dei lismoch azarat tarei tmei meitim l'psachim. Because remember, you're tamei, you have to give your korban Pesach. Okay, and Chodesh Hazeh, Parshat HaChodesh is Parshat HaPesach. You'll look it up, you'll see in the fourth week is Parshat HaChodesh. V'chamishit, in the fifth week, Chozrim L'Kisidram. We go back to the original order. Okay, and go back to and read. And the Bartenura explains. Just want to show you the Bartenura. It's interesting. The Sidran, the Seder HaHaftarot. Because all we're talking about here, according to the Bartenura, is which Haftarah you say. As we all know, let's go back to our calendar, because we read Tetzaveh and Zachor. We read Kitisa and Para. That's the way we do it. It's important to add, though, that the Gemara has an opinion that says, interestingly enough, the Gemara has an opinion that says we're not talking about Haftarot, but the actual Torah reading itself. Remember, everyone agrees that in Eretz Yisrael, in the times of the Mishnah, they didn't read every week. They didn't read, one parsha a week and finish throughout the year. It was not a 1-year cycle. It was a 3-year cycle. So 3 years, I guess you're reading like a third of what we would call a modern day parsha. So if you would stop, they would just read Parshat Zachor. I don't know, they would read a little more, a little less, whatever. It makes sense. And in whatever communities in Eretz Yisrael, the way the Mishnah is, Chozrin Kesidran means you go back to the way it was before. You go back to the normal Torah reading. Something interesting to think about. L'chol mafsikin. So the Mishnah says we stop the regular order for everything. Rosh Chodeshim on Rosh Chodesh. If Shabbat comes on Rosh Chodesh, let's go back. According to the Bartenura, it's talking about Haftarot. So you stop for anything, meaning every possible Haftarah. So if it's Rosh Chodesh, you do Haftarah of Rosh Chodesh. Chanukah and Purim, you do maftir of Chanukah or maftir of Purim, and you have Torah for them. Ta'aniyot, for fast days, or b'ma'amadot. Remember, we learned the ma'amadot is when the community has to stand and recite the tefillot special for the korbanot. It was their turn to be the ones that are omed ala korbanot, to stand above the korbanot. B'yom Kippurim and Yom Kippur. The Kahati says, like, what in the world is Yom Kippur connected to Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, and Purim? It's obvious that on Yom Kippur you read something different. He says some Girsaot say, like, just because we're talking about fast days or whatever, Taniyot, it says Yom Kippur. He says some don't have the Girsa of Yom Kippurim at all. Okay, we'll stop here. And as we always do, dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Talman. Have a great day.